a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Ed Sheeran. Edward Christopher Sheeran is an English singer, songwriter, guitarist, record producer, and actor. Sheeran was born in Halifax, West Yorkshire, and raised in Framlingham, Suffolk. He attended the Academy of Contemporary Music in Guildford as an undergraduate from the age of 18 in 2009. In early 2011, Sheeran independently released the extended play, No. 5 Collaborations project. After signing with Asylum Records, his debut album was released in September 2011. It topped the UK and Australian charts, reached No. 5 in the US, and has since been certified 7 times platinum in the UK. The album contains the single, The A-Team, which earned him the Ivor Novello Award for Best Song Musically and Lyrically. In 2012, Sheeran won the Brit Awards for Best British Male Solo Artist and British Breakthrough Act. The A-Team was nominated for Song of the Year at the 2013 Grammy Awards, where he performed the song with Elton John. His second studio album, X, was released in June 2014. It peaked at No. 1 in the UK and the US. In 2015, X won the Brit Award for Album of the Year, and he received the Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year from the British Academy of Songwriters, Composers, and Authors. His single from X, Thinking Out Loud, earned him 2 Grammy Awards at the 2016 ceremony, Song of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance. In May 2016, X was named the second best-selling album worldwide of 2015. Sheeran's third album, Divided By, was released in March 2017. The album debuted at No. 1 in the UK, the US and other major markets. The first 2 singles from the album, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill, were released in January 2017 and broke records in a number of countries, including the UK, Australia and Germany, by debuting in the top 2 positions of the charts. He also became the first artist to have 2 songs debut in the US top 10 in the same week. By March 2017, Sheeran had accumulated 10 top 10 singles from Divided By on the UK singles chart, breaking the record for most top 10 UK singles from one album. His fourth single from Divided By, Perfect, reached No. 1 in the UK, Australia, and in the US. In April 2018, Divided By was named the best-selling album worldwide of 2017. Sheeran has sold more than 38 million albums and 100 million singles worldwide, making him one of the world's best-selling music artists. 2 of his albums are in a list of the best-selling albums in UK chart history, X and Divided By. As an actor, Sheeran has portrayed recurring roles on The Bastard Executioner and Home and Away. Early life. Sheeran was born in Halifax, West Yorkshire on the 17th of February 1991. When he was a child, he moved with his family from Hebden Bridge to Framlingham in Suffolk. He has an older brother named Matthew who works as a composer. Sheeran's parents, John and Imogen, are from London. His paternal grandparents are Irish, and Sheeran has stated that his father is from a very large Catholic family. John is an art curator and lecturer, and Imogen is a culture publicist turned jewelry designer. His parents ran Sheeran Lock, an independent art consultancy, from 1990 to 2010. Sheeran sang in a local church choir from the age of 4, learned to play the guitar during his time at Rishworth School, and began writing songs while at Thomas Mills High School in Framlingham. He was accepted at the National Youth Theatre in London as a teenager. He is a patron of the Youth Music Theatre UK and of Access to Music, where he studied Artist Development course. Sheeran is a second cousin of Northern Irish broadcaster Gordon Burns, who hosted the British game show The Krypton Factor. 2004-2010, Career Beginnings. Sheeran began recording music in 2004, and independently released his first collection of work, Spinning Man. He has been friends with fellow English singer, Passenger, since he was 15, with the two playing on the same gig in Cambridge. He moved to London in 2008, and began playing in small venues. In 2008, he auditioned for the ITV series, Britannia High. He also opened for Niz Lopi in Norwich in April 2008. after being one of their guitar technicians. He released another EP in 2009, You Need Me, just before going on tour with Just Jack. He also did a few collaborations with Essex singer Ledra Chapman, including CeeLo Green's Fuck You. In February 2010, Sheeran posted a video through SB.TV, and rapper Example invited Sheeran to tour with him. In the same month, he also released his critically acclaimed Loose Change EP, which featured his future debut single, The A-Team. In the autumn of 2009, Sheeran began studying music at the Academy of Contemporary Music in Guildford, Surrey as an undergraduate, though it is not clear how long he remained at the college. Sheeran began to be seen by more people over the internet through YouTube, and his fan base grew, with him also getting credit from the independent newspaper England football captain Rio Ferdinand and Elton John. He played a station session in St Pancras International in June 2010. The episode is unavailable from the official Station Sessions channel. Sheeran also self-released 2 other EPs in 2010, Ed Sheeran, Live at the Bedford, and Songs I Wrote with Amy, which is a collection of love songs he wrote in Wales with singer Amy Wage. In 2010 he was in Los Angeles and was invited to perform at the Foxhole, a club run by actor Jamie Foxx, which ended with an invitation to stay at Foxx's home. On the 8th of January 2011, Sheeran released another independent EP, Number 5 Collaborations Project, featuring grime artists such as Wiley, Jamie, Devlin, Sway, and Getz. With this EP, Sheeran gained mainstream attention for reaching number 2 in the iTunes chart without any promotion or label, selling over 7,000 copies in its first week. 3 months later, Sheeran put on a free show to fans at the Barfly in Camden Town. Over 1,000 fans turned up, so Sheeran played 4 different shows to ensure everyone saw a gig, including a gig outside on the street after the venue had closed. Later that month, Sheeran was signed to Asylum Records, 2011, 2013, and international success. On the 26th of April 2011, Sheeran appeared on the TV music show Later, with Jules Holland, where he performed his debut single, The A-Team. 6 weeks later, The A-Team was released as a digital download in the UK. The release served as the lead single from Sheeran's debut studio album. The A-Team entered the UK singles chart at number 3, selling over 58,000 copies in the first week. It was the best-selling debut single and the overall 8th best-selling single of 2011, selling 801,000 copies. The lead single also became a top 10 hit in Australia, Germany, Ireland, Japan, Luxembourg, New Zealand, Norway and the Netherlands. During a headline set in the BBC introducing Tent at Glastonbury Festival 2011, Sheeran announced that You Need Me, I Don't Need You would be released on the 26th of August as the second single from the album. The second single peaked at number 4 on the UK singles chart. Lego House was released as the third single, reaching the top 10 on the Australian, Irish, and New Zealand singles charts. The music video for Lego House features Harry Potter actor Rupert Grint, as a play on their similar appearance. Drunk, released on the 19th of February 2012, became Sheeran's 4th consecutive top 10 single in the UK, peaking at number 9. Sheeran released on the 12th of September 2011. The album received generally favourable reviews from music critics. Debuted at number 1 on the UK albums chart for sales of 102,000 copies. By end of 2011, sales of the album in the UK stand at 791,000. It became the second best-selling debut album and the 9th biggest-selling album there. The album has been certified platinum 6 times by the British phonographic industry, denoting shipments of 1,800,000 copies. As of March 2012, the album had sold 1,021,072 copies in the UK. The album also reached the top 5 in Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand and the US. The song, Moments, on the debut album by boy band One Direction, released in November 2011, was co-written by Sheeran. At the 2012 Brit Awards on the 21st of February, Sheeran won the Brit Awards for Best British Male Solo Artist and British Breakthrough Act of the Year. On the 10th of January 2012, it was announced that Sheeran would support Snow Patrol on their US tour from late March until May. His song, Give Me Love, was featured in the episode, Dangerous Liaisons, of The Vampire Diaries, at the Ivor Novello Awards in May 2012. Sheeran's The A-Team bested Adele's Rolling in the Deep and Florence and the Machine's Shake It Out for Best Song Musically and Lyrically. Sheeran performed The A-Team at the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II concert held on the Mall outside Buckingham Palace on the 4th of June 2012 and a cover of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here at the closing ceremony of the 2012 Summer Olympics on the 12th of August 2012. Taylor Swift contacted Sheeran after hearing his music while touring Australia in March 2012. He later co-wrote and provided vocals for Everything Has Changed, a single featured on Swift's fourth studio album, Red. Sheeran also contributed 2 songs to One Direction's second studio album, Take Me Home, released in November 2012. The single, Little Things, became the group's second #1 in the UK. Sheeran's album peaked at number 5 on the Billboard 200, while The A-Team reached number 16 on the US Billboard Hot 100. In late 2012 and early 2013, he headlined a US tour of 6,000-9,000 capacity venues. The A-Team received a nomination for Song of the Year at the 2013 Grammy Awards. Elton John, who runs Sheeran's management company, canvassed the award organizers to get Sheeran a performance slot at the ceremony, but was told that Sheeran alone was not high-profile enough. John decided to appear with Sheeran to circumvent this problem. Sheeran was also featured on some tracks from Irish singer Foy Vance's fourth album Joy of Nothing, in particular on Guiding Light, which the British singer also often sang on stage. From March to September 2013, Sheeran played at arenas and stadiums across North America as the opening act for Swift's The Red Tour. According to Sheeran, it was then his biggest tour and he added a scarlet red tattoo to commemorate it. In October 2013, Sheeran headlined 3 sold-out shows at New York's Madison Square Garden, which has a capacity of 18,200. At the concert, Sheeran debuted new songs including Tenerife Sea, a future track on his second studio album. Sheeran released I See Fire on the 5th of November 2013. The song is featured in the end credits of the film The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, the film's soundtrack, and on the deluxe version of his second album. Sheeran was nominated for Best New Artist at the 2014 Grammy Awards. 2014-2015 times. On the 24th of March 2014, Sheeran performed at the Teenage Cancer Trust charity concert at the Royal Albert Hall in London, where he unveiled Take It Back, a track that would appear on the deluxe version of the second album. Sing, the lead single, was released on the 7th of April 2014. Sonically, the song is a departure from Sheeran's previous recordings. Sing was intended to create hype over the album release, but from concern that this might alienate Sheeran's fanbase, One, an acoustic ballad, was released on the 16th of May 2014. One also marked the first of several promotional singles released leading to the album release. By early June 2014, Sing had earned Sheeran his first #1 single in the UK. Sheeran's second studio album, X, was released worldwide on the 23rd of June 2014. In a span of 3 years, Sheeran wrote more than 120 songs for the album, the earliest of which was composed shortly after was released. The album features tracks produced by Rick Rubin, Pharrell Williams, and Benny Blanco, as well as that of Gosling's. X peaked at #1 in both the UK Albums Chart and the US Billboard 200. To support the album, Sheeran embarked on a world tour starting on the 6th of August 2014 at Osaka, Japan. On the 27th of September 2014, Sheeran was one of the headline acts at the Melbourne Cricket Ground prior to the 2014 AFL Grand Final. Following, Don't, Thinking Out Loud, was released on the 24th of September 2014 as the album's third single. Unlike his previous music videos, Sheeran took the lead role in the single's accompaniment, where he performed a ballroom dance. It became his second single to reach #1 in the UK, and it also spent 8 weeks at #2 on the US Billboard Hot 100. In 2014, Combined streams on Sheeran's catalogue and Spotify reached 860 million. Spotify named him the most streamed artist and X the most streamed album. In the same year, the album made Sheeran iTunes best-selling artist in the UK, Ireland and New Zealand. X was nominated for Album of the Year at the 57th Grammy Awards. Sheeran performed alongside John Mayer at the ceremony. On the 25th of February, Sheeran won British Male Solo Artist and British Album of the Year for X at the 2015 Brit Awards. On the 21st of May he received the Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year. On the 21st of June, Sheeran co-hosted the 2015 Much Music Video Awards in Toronto, where he performed the singles, Thinking Out Loud, and Photograph. He also won 2 awards, Best International Artist and Most Buzzworthy International Artist or Group. On the 27th of June, Sheeran performed as the opening act for the Rolling Stones in their Zip Code tour date in Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium. On the 12th of July 2015, Sheeran performed sold-out shows at London's Wembley Stadium. The shows, which were announced in November 2014, were part of his world tour. The concert was documented and aired on the 16th of August 2015 on NBC. The one-hour special Ed Sheeran Live at Wembley Stadium also included behind-the-scenes footage. In November 2015 Sheeran released the DVD Jumpers for Goalposts, Live at Wembley Stadium. The title a nod to playing concerts at Wembley Stadium, the home of English football. In 2015, Sheeran wrote Love Yourself for Justin Bieber's 4th album. Sheeran had initially planned to put the song on his 3rd album Divided By and added that the track would have been scrapped before Bieber took the song. In August 2015, he sang along with Macklemore on the track, Growing Up. On the 26th of September, Sheeran performed at the 2015 Global Citizen Festival in Central Park's Great Lawn in New York, an event organized by Coldplay lead singer Chris Martin, that advocates an end to extreme global poverty. Sheeran headlined the festival along with Beyoncé, Coldplay, and Pearl Jam. The festival was broadcast on NBC in the US on the 27th of September and the BBC in the UK on the 28th of September. Sheeran co-hosted the 2015 MTV Europe Music Awards on the 25th of October in Milan, Italy. He won the awards for Best Live Act and Best Live Stage. The latter was in recognition for his performance at the 2014 V Festival in England. Sheeran won the Breakthrough Award at the 2015 Billboard Touring Awards. His single from X, Thinking Out Loud, earned him 2 Grammy Awards at the 2016 ceremony, Song of the Year and Best Pop Solo Performance. In May 2016, X was named the 2nd best-selling album worldwide in 2015, behind 25 by Adele. 2016 present, Hiatus and Divided By. On the 13th of December 2016, after a year-long hiatus and social media break, Sheeran tweeted a picture and changed his Twitter, Facebook and Instagram to a light blue, implying the release of a new album. Each of Sheeran's previous albums were a single-colored background with a solid mathematical symbol. On the 2nd of January, he posted a 10-second video on Twitter and other social media showing what was the cover design of his forthcoming album entitled Divided By, which was released on the 3rd of March 2017. The album debuted at number 1 in the UK, the US, Germany, Australia, Canada, and other major markets. With first-week sales of 672,000, it is the fastest-selling album by a male solo artist in the UK, and 3rd fastest in UK chart history behind 25 by Adele and Be Here Now by Oasis. It had the biggest first-week sales of 2017 in the US, until it was surpassed by Taylor Swift's Reputation. On the 6th of January, Sheeran released 2 singles, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill. The theme of the latter single is about Sheeran's upbringing in his hometown of Framlingham in Suffolk, with the castle referring to Framlingham Castle. Following the release of these singles, Sheeran went on to co-host the BBC Radio 1 breakfast show with Scott Mills, where it was inferred that he would possibly make an appearance at the Glastonbury Festival in 2017. It was also during this show that Sheeran used a new Martin guitar that featured the Divided By logo on both the headstock and body of the acoustic guitar. Both singles went on to break the Spotify Day 1 streaming record. with a combined total of over 13 million streams in 24 hours. On the 13th of January, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill entered the UK singles chart at number 1 and number 2. The first time in history an artist has taken the top 2 UK chart positions with new songs. The same day he also became the first artist to debut at number 1 and number 2 on the official German single charts. On the 15th of January, the songs debuted at number 1 and number 2 on the ARIA singles chart, the first time this has been achieved in the history of the Australian chart. On the 17th of January, Shape of You debuted at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, while Castle on the Hill entered at number 6. This made Sheeran the first artist ever to have 2 songs simultaneously debut in the US Top 10. On the 26th of January, Sheeran announced tour dates for the album Divided By in Europe, South America and North America from 17 March until the 14th of June 2017. Sheeran played to over 950,000 people in Australia and New Zealand in March and April 2018, making it the biggest concert tour in Australasian music history, overtaking the previous record set by Dire Straits in 1986. On the 17th of February 2017, Sheeran released How Would You Feel? Though not an official single, the song peaked at number 2 in the UK. By the 11th of March 2017, Sheeran had accumulated 10 top 10 singles from Divided By on the UK singles chart, breaking Scottish DJ Calvin Harris' record of 9 top 10 singles from one album. At the 2017 MTV Video Music Awards, Sheeran was named Artist of the Year. The 4th single from Divided By, Perfect, reached number 1 in the UK and Australia, and a stripped-down acoustic version of the song titled Perfect Duet, a collaboration with Beyoncé, reached number 1 in the US and the UK, becoming the year's UK Christmas number 1. On the 7th of November, Taylor Swift revealed that Sheeran collaborated on the song Endgame for her 6th studio album Reputation. The song, which also features rapper Future, was released on the 10th of November. On the 4th of December, Sheeran was named Spotify's most streamed artist of 2017 with 6.3 billion streams. He has Spotify's biggest album of the year with Divided By streamed 3.1 billion times, and the top song with Shape of You, with 1.4 billion streams. On the 5th of December 2017, hip-hop artist Eminem announced that Sheeran had collaborated on the song River for his 9th studio album Revival. On working with Eminem, Sheeran stated, "He is one of the reasons I started writing songs, and was such a pleasure to work with him." Speaking on The Late Late Show on Irish television on the 15th of December, Sheeran stated he has a theme song written for a James Bond film in case he gets the call from producers of the film series. On the 3rd of January 2018, Shape of You was named the best-selling single of 2017 in the UK, and the best-selling single of 2017 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. The same day, Divided By was named the best-selling album of 2017 in the UK and the US. At the 2018 Brit Awards held at the O2 Arena in London on the 21st of February, Sheeran performed Supermarket Flowers and received the Global Success Award. In April 2018, the IFP named Divided By the best-selling album worldwide of 2017. At the 2018 Billboard Music Awards on the 20th of May, Sheeran performed Galway Girl from Phoenix Park in Dublin, Ireland, and picked up 6 awards, including Top Artist and Top Hot 100 Artist. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?